Hi, I'm Kate Bonner for the Water Cooler Diaries on KBTVonline. Thanks for joining. Here at KBTV, our managing editor, Rachael Joyner, she travels out of the country quite a bit for her other job. So she went to a travel immunization company here in Boca Raton to get some shots because she's going to be going to some of the poorest countries in the world, Ethiopia and Haiti. 7 vaccinations, a whole lot of paperwork, and 2 very sore arms later, she called me with some striking news. She told me, "You'll never guess how many people don't get shots that could save their lives." I suspected she was talking about the virtually non-existent immunization system in many developing countries whose people are, as a result, plagued by such preventable diseases as measles and typhoid. But it turned out she was talking about the United States. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, up to 5,000 Americans die every year from a disease that can be prevented by vaccination. There are 17 diseases that can be prevented through vaccinations, and several of these, including 3 fairly new ones licensed since 2005, are recommended specifically for the adult years. But the CDC's recent natural immunization survey shows that very low percentages of adults are actually getting these shots that prevent deadly disease. What's strange is that routine immunization of children in the U.S. is the norm. The long list of vaccines most children get in their early years has saved thousands of lives and prevented millions of cases of disease. But the same could be true with adults, as Dr. Ann Schuschott points out, and she's the director for the CDC's National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases, and I quote here, "New data show that there are not yet very many adults taking full advantage of the great advancements in prevention that have been made in the past few years." The CDC's recent National Immunization Survey revealed some startling numbers. Only 2.1% of adults 18 to 64 are immunized against tetanus, diphtheria, whooping cough. Only 1.9% of people 60 and over got the vaccine to prevent shingles, a disease of which there are more than 1 million new cases in the U.S. each year. And vaccine coverage for the prevention of HPV, a 3-series shot that prevents several kinds of cervical cancer, among women 18 to 26 is only about 10%. Even the highly publicized influenza and vaccines to prevent pneumonia rates for older people are well below the 90% target rates. Perhaps more jarring than these numbers are the results of another recent national survey done by the National Foundation of Infectious Diseases. It showed most adults cannot name more than a couple of diseases in adults that could be prevented by a vaccine. Only about 3 to 18% could do it. Also disturbing was that half of those surveyed said they are not concerned about whether they or another family member gets a vaccine-prevented disease. Respondents actually expressed the most concern about getting influenza. Doctors say this is because this is a vaccine-preventable disease people hear about the most. So what diseases are adults supposed to get vaccines for? Well, the list is quite extensive. Chickenpox, diphtheria, hepatitis A and B, human papillomavirus, the cervical cancer shot, influenza, measles, mumps, whooping cough, shingles, and tetanus, just to name a few. It sounds like a lot, says Dr. William Schaffner, chairman of the Department of Preventive Medicine at Vanderbilt University School of Medicine. But when you consider the alternative, it's hard to see why people don't get more shots. Combine the number of people that die from the infectious diseases that I just mentioned that you can get vaccinations for, that number is greater, and I found this shocking, than the number of people in America that die from breast cancer, HIV/AIDS, and traffic accidents. Go get your vaccines. I'm Kate Bonner for the Water Cooler Diaries for KBTVonline.